Hello, I'm Hannah Alexander and welcome back to my channel. Is she really about to make another video about Spider-Man No Way Home? Yes, I am, because that trailer was insane. Let's jump straight into it. First of all, Doctor Strange saying, "when you botched that spell," really seems quite sus to me. It might be because he's arrogant, but it's still giving me Loki variant vibes. It's probably not, we're probably being baited for that, but it just seemed sus. The new suit, I don't know why, seems vaguely familiar to me. I went back through all of the Spider-Man suits in the game and I couldn't see anything similar, but for some reason it feels really vaguely similar. I don't know why. I didn't check the Miles Morales suits because it's obvious. I thought what we were seeing is Peter Parker. Maybe it's not, but I couldn't see any Peter Parker suits from the game that looked similar, so maybe I'm just tripping. Doc Ock says, "You're not Peter Parker." So for me, this is like, he doesn't recognize him because he knows the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Is this more of us seeing that we're gonna get the three? But Venom recognized him. He said, "that face," and licked to the screen. Does he recognize him, or does he simply fancy him just like me? I mean, we all know that Venom is me, so maybe he does just fancy him. Doc Ock's arms, absorbing, I don't know if that's the right word, the nanotech. It looks as though the nanotech sort of saves Peter's life because it comes off of his head and onto the arms, like it slows it down so that he can't get to his head or his chest too hard, and then the arms take on the nanotech. That's what it seems like to me. So does this mean that the arms can take control of the nanotech, or is the nanotech taking control of the arms? Because then we see Doc Ock in the cage and I think he's still got the nanotech around his arms. Just my thoughts. The villains that we've seen for sure are Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard and Electro. One more and we get Sinister Six. We know that Venom's going to be in the movie, so is he going to join Sinister Six or is he going to help? It does also seem like Peter is fighting Doctor Strange. Like there's a lot of tension between them because of the botched spell. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out. Let's just take a moment and appreciate how much better Electro looks in this movie, because that weird blue in Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just freaky. So he looks so much better, and then the moment with the sparks around him where he looks like his comic book costume, love it. I'll also be very upset if Spider-Man doesn't call him Sparky. It does look like Electro is saying, "you'll never take this away from me," to Doc Ock and then zapping him off the building. So is Doc Ock a villain or not? Because obviously Doc Ock was Peter's mentor in the game. In the movie he was being manipulated by the arms. Doc Ock can, and in the TV show, the Marvel, no not Marvel, the Disney, I think it was Disney XD, is that what it's called, TV show, like the animated one that's on Disney Plus, I highly recommend it. He turns good in the end and then he dies, and he seems really young, but that story is quite interesting as well. So is Doc Ock a villain in this movie or nah? He's also not present in the moment with Sandman, Electro and Lizard. Electro, Sandman, Lizard. So he's not in that battle scene, but is that a 3v3? We all know the Lizard punch. Do you know, I've watched that trailer so many times and I still can't see that movement of the Lizard's head unless I'm watching somebody reacting to it or doing a TikTok of it. Seems weird, but we move. Hopefully it's 3v3. What is with the big Captain America shield? I think it's Captain America shield on the Statue of Liberty, because that's definitely the two things that are there, because it's got the crown and the torch. It's definitely the Statue of Liberty, but that is definitely Captain America's shield. So what's happening there? Is that part of the multiverse? Are they doing a weird Captain America Statue of Liberty? I mean, I know America loves him, but that's weird. Is Ned forcing MJ off of the scaffolding? Are the Hobgoblin theories true? Personally, I really hope they're not, because I feel like we've done Peter Parker's best friend becoming Hobgoblin enough. Like it happened with what's his name, the terrible person, James Franco, and it happened with Dane DeHaan as well, because they were friends. I know we didn't get much of Peter Parker and Harry Osborn's relationship in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but we have seen that already. We've seen Harry Osborn become the Goblin. And I know it's not Harry Osborn, it is Ned, but it's still his best friend. So I feel like we've already seen that trope from the Spider-Man movies. So I kind of hope that that's not where they're going with it, because we've got enough villains in this movie. I know we haven't got any new villains, but we've got villains. And we've also got Green Goblin. So I don't feel like we need Hobgoblin, unless they're setting him up for future projects. MJ's fall, another Gwen Stacy parallel. Am I the only one that saw it in Venom? Am I just making that up? Because to me it was really obvious parallel, but now we're getting it again in No Way Home. They were definitely parallels. I have two theories for this Gwen Stacy parallel with MJ. Either she'll die and Peter will go into the multiverse to find her because the multiverse is collapsing, or Andrew Garfield will come in and save her because he couldn't save Gwen Stacy, which is a very popular theory. I actually thought that before I saw any of the theories, so I'm just a genius. When Doctor Strange says they're starting to come through and I can't stop them, I don't think he's talking about the villains at that moment. I think he's talking about the other Spider-Men, whatever you want to call them. I think that is it. I actually think that quote is not a correct quote. I think that's split in half. I think he says they're starting to come through at that point when all the purple's around him. I do think he says that there. But when he says, and I can't stop, he could either be saying, I can't stop them, or I can't stop it, because that last word is quite muffled, and it's very zoomed in on his face. So I think that he's saying, and I can't stop it, when the spell's collapsing, when they're botching the spell, and I think that it's in two separate moments in the movie. I think that Miles Morales will be introduced in this movie. I don't know if he'll be a main character for this movie instead of the 3 Spider-Men, which obviously everybody wants. We could get Miles Morales because the punch. Maybe he's just invisible because invisibility is one of Miles Morales' powers. But we all are obviously hoping that it's the 3 Spider-Men, and I have it in my heart that it's going to be all 3 Spider-Men. So I think if he's not introduced in the full movie, he'll be introduced in the post-credit scene, because I think they are going to get ready to set up a new Spider-Man, and Peter Parker will fade out because Tom's already done 5 movies. Which is sad, because he is the best Spider-Man we've seen, but I would really like to see more of Miles Morales in movies, and we haven't had him in the MCU yet, as long as they do the casting right. Also, in my last video on this, I was right about them coming back from the dead, so I really think that we should just take everything I say as fact, because I'm always right about everything. I can just tell from these trailers. I'm joking, but hopefully I'm right, because I do like to be right. Thank you for watching. I imagine this is the last video I'll do on this movie until it actually comes out, so look forward to that. I'll be very excited. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. As I said, I will do a video on the Eternals. I just need to go and see it again so I can make notes on it. And follow my Instagram. It's selflovehannah. It is in the description. And I will see you again next time.